My name is Dara. This is 30 minutes of core strength, mobility. We're gonna start off with yoga, quick little yoga warm up. I'm a physical therapist. I'm also a strength coach, yogi, endurance athlete. This class is for you, all levels. It is fairly advanced, but I'm gonna show you guys modifications. So listen to your body always. As a PT, I'm always saying listen to your body, modify as needed. I will try and show you some options. 30 minutes, let's get started. Come to the back of your mat. We're gonna start off in standing with a little bit of a yoga warm up and then take it down onto the mat. We've got 3 moves, 3 advanced core power moves. Every class has this flow. Subscribe to the channel to get notifications of live class. I host class every week. Join me. Inhale, reach to the sky. Let's start off with some length in our spine. I'm in the Bay Area this week. I will be in Los Angeles next week. Join me live. Inhale, reach. Get some length, open and stretch. Just using this yoga as our warm up. And then on your exhale, bring your arms all the way down, forward fold. Bring the head low, shake it out, release any tension. Knees are soft, keeping that lower back nice and supported. We're just gonna start off with a little vinyasa flow. Go through that 3 times just to get warmed up. And then we've got our core work. We've got some spicy core today. Last breath here. On your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back, straighten out the knees. This is your nice hip hinge. For those of you, deadlift, hinge at the hips here. Get that nice stretch in the hammies. And then bring your hands down, step back into plank, holding it here. Hands stacked underneath the shoulders, pressing away from the mat, not collapsing. Engage. Spread the fingers wide, tuck the chin in, brace with your abs, hold for 1 breath. Exhale, knees down, slowly lower, chaturanga. Work those shoulders, uncurl your toes. Press yourself up into a little baby back bend. Pull the shoulder blades down your back, engage your lats. That's gonna help to stabilize and support that lower back. Hold it here, 1 breath. Nice little extension. Exhale, back down. Uncurl your toes. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Drive that booty up high to the sky. Look at me, I look like a little triangle. That's the goal. Not a rounded back. Flatten the upper back. That's your thoracic spine. Flatten it out. Drive your hips up high to the sky. Pedal your feet. Give your calf and ankles a nice stretch. I love downward dog for ankle mobility. For my runners and my cyclists, myself included, this should feel good. Pedal the feet. Last breath here. We're going to go through this flow again. Walk your hands back to your feet. Rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Articulate through your spine. Supple spine is a healthy spine. Inhale, reach, speeding it up just a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the arms all the way down. Is my microphone on? Yes, it is. Okay, just making sure. Hang out here for 1 breath. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, brace, abs, control, hold, hinge. Hands come down, back into plank. We do have planks coming up later. If you don't love planks, I will show you some options. Hold it here. Exhale, lower, chaturanga, controlled. Uncurl the toes. Push yourself up into cobra or upward dog. If you want to come all the way up and this feels good on your spine, enjoy this stretch. Open the chest, proud chest. Open that chest by squeezing the shoulder blades back and down. This should feel nice into that lower back, not pinchy, right? So a little bit of bracing with your abs will also help to protect that lower back. This should always feel good. Roll yourself down. Uncurl the toes, press yourself back, pushing away from the mat. Fingers are spread wide, downward facing dog. We've got 1 more round just like this, and then we are moving on. I am gonna do some planks in our main set today. We're gonna do a forearm plank. Again, if you've got wrist shoulder problems, we'll try to modify as needed. Walk your hands back, last time through. Rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time, articulate. Inhale, reach to the sky, last time. Nice big breath. Exhale, breathe it all the way out. Through the mouth. Inhale, halfway lift. Little bracing here. Hands come down, plank. Hold it here. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Extension. Get that spine into extension. Exhale, back down. Push yourself back down. We're facing dog. We're moving on, guys.
We're moving on. Let's do a little three-legged dog. Now, three-legged dog is basically even weight into the hands. My fingers are spread wide, booty up high to the sky. Lift that right leg up. If you want, you can keep it here. If you want to open up, get a little bit of stretch into that hip flexor, that front of that right thigh, you can be here. You can also stay here. If you need to take a break, you can always go into child's pose. Just getting a little bit more. Finishing off our warm-up. One more breath here. Bring the right leg down. Left leg up. Again, try not to kick over that plant. Opening up if you want more of a stretch into the front of that left thigh. Opening up that hip flexor. If you're like me, you got tight hip flexors. Hold it here. This is an active pose as we stretch. One more breath. Bring your left leg back down. Walk your hands back to your feet. Last part of our warm-up, a little bit of our RDL, single leg balance. That is your warrior three. So again, your single leg deadlift is basically warrior three. I'm gonna show you options. If you have weights, always optional in my class, highly suggested. If you have a weight and you wanna grab it, you got something with you, you can turn this into an RDL. This is your hip hinge. So what I want you to start off with is just leaning forward, hinging at the hips. My right leg is planted solid. As I hinge, I'm focusing on a point, and then I'm just gonna come back. I wanna keep my hips squared. I'm bracing with my abs. This should look like a straight line from my head to that extended leg. My standing leg is soft. I'm not locked out on this right knee. I want to engage this right butt. I want to draw this right arch up. My warrior three, my full warrior three is going to be here. And again, if you've got weights, then you're turning it into a Romanian deadlift, right? So that's weights, either one in my hand or two, and then I'm hinging. And the way I like to cue this RDL, we're just going to go back and forth with this a couple of times, then we're going to switch legs. So again, we're working on balance. We're working on foot and arch strength. Working on a little bit of core, a little bit of hip mobility, keeping those hips squared, and glutes and hammies. That's your deadlift, right? And lower back. Our primary mover for our deadlift is going to be more of our glutes and our hamstrings. Let's do a few more, then we'll switch sides. So again, you've got options. If you don't have a weight, and if you want to hold on to the wall for balance, that's also okay. My goal with this is this nice extended pose. I'm hinging at the hips here. My knee is soft. I'm not rotating out. I'm going to keep those hips squared. And then I really like to have that back leg extended. I don't like a bent knee. It kind of throws people off so they lose this long line. And the flat back, not here, here. One more time and then we're going to switch sides. We're working on a lot of things with this. One of my favorite moves, again, not needed to go super heavy weight-wise. If you don't have that, you can also, plenty of other things we can work on. Balance, let's do the other leg. Again, starting from the ground up, root of the foot arch is drawn up, left glute is engaged, my left knee is soft, I'm supported, hips are level, abs are braced, focusing on a point with my eyes. And then my warrior three, again, we've got millions of different arm positions for that warrior three. If you've got a weight, you'd be here, right? Straight down the middle. And then I'm finishing right about here. Depends on your flexibility, mobility. Often if you have tight hips, it's gonna be hard for you to get straight into that parallel here because the hip's gonna get tight, you're gonna roll out. So you want your warrior three, your airplane, your RDL, hips are squared, right? I'm keeping that hinge here. I'm focusing on a point. My left hip is always my tighter side. So this one is a lot more work for me to stay squared. So I just have to pay attention a little bit more. Let's do a few more here and then we're finishing with our warm-up. Again, challenge yourself. You've always got options with your strength and conditioning and your core work and your yoga. If you're adding weights, what is your goal? Am I going heavy? Working on some glute, building here. And if I don't have weights, what am I working on? That's okay if you don't have weights. Maybe I'm working more on my core strength. Maybe I'm working on my ankle strength.
Maybe I'm just working on my balance. So have an intention and purpose, especially if you've got weights or not, really understanding your why, right? So this class is more about the strength, the core, the stability. We're not going for super heavy. One more time, just like this. There's a time and place for the heavy lifting. This is not it today. Come down onto the mat. Let's do a cat-cow, and then we're gonna take it into this core series. So again, we've got 3 moves, power moves, all my classes. Subscribe to the channel. You will see all my core classes. I also have core workouts, really short, 10-minute workouts. You do not need a ton of core work, and you don't need a ton of mobility either to be healthy, to be strong, to be stable, to have defined abs, etc. 10 to 20 minutes, a couple times a week. That's what I suggest, right? Just like this class. So we're getting a little bit of this mobility for the spine. Again, thinking about this supple spine. Our joints need to move and our muscles need to be strong. We need both, right? One more time with this cat-cow. And then I'm gonna talk us through our core series. So today we do have planks. We're gonna do a forearm plank. We're gonna do 30 seconds of a forearm plank, RKC style, meaning I have this slight curve here. It's not a flat. I'm gonna be here. It's gonna help me really kick in my abs more, holding that for 30, and then I'm gonna do hip dips side to side for 30. Then we're gonna come onto our back. We've got some oblique work, and we've got some deep lower abdominal work. So let's start with our planks first. So 30 seconds. Again, 30-second hold, 30 seconds hip dips a little bit more, targeting our obliques. Let's start that off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds. Again, if you can't get into this forearm plank, or if you need to take a break after 30 seconds, that is totally okay. This class is for you. Modify as needed. 30 seconds here. I want you to think about driving your elbows down to your toes to create more ab tension. I'm intentionally in a little bit of this curved position so that I can really engage my rectus abdominis and my abs more. In 3, in 2, and in 1, I'm just gonna dip the hips side to side gently. I'm not going super low. This is that subtle movement targeting obliques. We have more obliques coming up next. Again, breathing, tucking the chin in, finishing this 30 seconds. This is a full minute of plank. This is our last few here, hip dips, and done. Come onto your back, bicycle crunches, easy way to target obliques. Bicycles, almost everybody can do these. That's why I like to do them a lot. They're also really effective, right? Here, again, I'm gonna exhale, come up into my crunch, locking myself into place, chin is supporting my neck, and then I'm just gonna come into my bicycle crunches. I'm gonna go for some nice length, reaching with the legs, and then thinking about where I'm focusing on is here. Belly button, that axis of rotation. I'm not just pulling my head. I'm not just yanking my elbows. I'm really focusing on belly button, right? That is my pivot point. That is my axis. I want you guys to visualize, where are you working? What muscle group? What are you targeting, right? So we've got a little bit of a round robin today. We've got a little bit of abs, a little bit of our plank, we're getting a little bit of shoulders, a little bit of upper body. This is a little bit of obliques. Right, then we're gonna finish with a little bit of glutes. We've got a crunch coming up next. So I'll try to squeeze in a little bit of glute work at the very finish of class. Our RDL that we started off with, right? Our Warrior 3, that's also glutes. So that's all of that is your core, right? It's not just abs. We want all of it. Let's do 4 more here. 3, 2, 1, relax. You've got 2 options here. So you can just do a reverse crunch, or you can do a reverse crunch with an upper body crunch. So if you're just doing the reverse crunch for our last move, you're just gonna come here, right? Squeeze, lift that booty up, and then down. It's coming from here, deep lower abdominals, pelvic floor. Squeeze. If you wanna add the head to this, touch.
On your exhale, crunch. Up to you, right? I want you to think about with this, that squeeze that's coming from the bottom up. So that pelvic floor, your lower abdominals, that's the bottom part of our core. Crunch, top down, right? Connect the two if you want. These ones, I always feel these ones. These ones, I like them because they kind of burn, right? In a good way. Like I really feel like I'm able to engage, kind of like on those hanging ab curls. I'm really getting this lower abdominal strength, a little bit more of the lower abs working. Kind of hard to target for a lot of people. Squeeze. Exhale as you lift. Use your breath. Your diaphragm is part of your core as well. Let's do 4 more just like this. 3, we come back into that plank, right? 2, 1, turn it over, round 2. We've only got 3 rounds, let's make it count. So we've got round 2, 30-second hold, 30-second hip dips. Let's get ready. In 5, in 4, in 3, 2, and 1. Lock it in. Locking in that 30 seconds of plank, 30 seconds of hip dips. Keep holding. Again, fingers are spread wide. I'm gripping the floor, creating tension, bringing my elbows down to my toes. Get ready. In 3, 2, 1, dip. We've got our bicycles next. We've got our reverse crunches after that. Little move side to side. Targeted, really focusing on where are we working. Almost done here. In 5, 3, 2, on your back. Bicycle crunch. Add some speed, change the tempo. You can always play around with things each round. That is up to you, right? You've got a lot to work with here. A lot of times, I will add a lot of weights to my core work just to give myself a little bit more of that bulk and that strength, really getting more ab definition. So just always thinking about like things that you can play with your routine to add some spice, progress, right? Not keep things stagnant. And then hitting all of our targets, not just our crunches, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? Bicycle it out. And then we've got those lower abdominals next. Again, if your neck is always getting tired with a lot of your core work, my PT tip is to keep that chin tucked in. And then pushing your head back into your hands will actually reduce that neck strain. So it seems counterintuitive. Push the head back into the hands. That will alleviate some of that neck strain, right? So I know a lot of people, their neck, they're like, oh, all I feel is my neck by the time I'm done with abs. That's not the point, right? So stabilize the neck a little bit better with a couple of those tips. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse crunch. Set yourself up. On that exhale, lift. It's that little squeeze. And again, if you just want to do the reverse crunch, you don't want to add the upper body, that's cool, right? Your class, your body, you decide. Squeeze. Think about that, pulling up and squeeze. That tight engagement. Deep core, lower abdominals. Lift. It's not a big movement, right? It's just that little lift. Again, if I'm adding this, upper. We've got our last round coming up, and then we're stretching, and then that's it for today. Strength, glutes, abs, stretch, mobility, flow, the end. 4 more here. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Let's do it. In 3, in 2, in 1. Plank it out, guys. Planky plank, feet together, abs are braced. Do not space out in your planks. When I see people hanging out in planks for minutes and minutes and minutes, they're not doing it right, right? Really be engaged. Really drive the elbows down to the toes, tuck the tailbone under, brace with your abs. This should hurt. This should be work. Abs should be on. In 3, in 2, in 1, dip. Last time, guys. Obliques, 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 obliques. Our next move is obliques. Then we've got some lower abdominals, and we've got some rectus abdominis, some deep core is our last move, and then we're stretching. That's it for today. Almost done. Finishing up in 3, in 2, and 1 on your back, bicycles. Let's do it. Bicycles, last time through. Neck supported, shoulders are off the mat. Rotation, where are you working? Don't space out. What are you doing? A lot of times with my bicycle crunches, I'm guilty of this as well. You're just kind of like half-assing it, like not really going through the full. Go through the full range rotation. Obliques go across your body. Engage them. Fully engage. Rotate. This is your connection from this side to this side. This drives power. This helps you run, bike, whatever. This is helping you create and drive power through your body, across the body. So utilize these obliques, right? A lot of other muscles have involved as well, right? Going 4, 3, extend, 2, 1, relax. Reverse crunch, last one. Deep abdominals. You can do whatever you want with the upper body if you just want to focus here on that lower. Exhale as you lift. That nice exhale out through the mouth. Being really kind of loud with that exhale. Couple more. We're almost done. We are just going to stretch. That is it for today. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Let the legs go long. Stretch. I'm going to guide us through a little bit of mobility. If you have anything else that feels great you want to add in, now is your chance. Or if you need to modify, please do so. Get some length in those abs. We just squeezed and crunched those abs. Let's lengthen, stretch. Slow down the breath. Hug your knees into your chest. Give your lower back a little massage. Again, core work. The goal is not for you to leave class and your lower back is hurting, right? I always have to tell people, you gotta modify as needed, listen to your body, but also the goal is to be stable in our front body so that we're not stressing out our back side of our body and our lower back. Rocking the knees side to side, giving my lower back a nice little massage here. Just let the knees rock side to side. Nice and mellow. Let that left leg extend long. When you're ready, shake it out. Release any tension. Roll the ankles and the toes around. Get some nice movement, mobility in those feet. Toes, ankles, happy, healthy. Roll that hip around. Get into that hip joint. Lubricate these joints. Keep them healthy. A supple joint is a healthy joint. These joints need to move, right? Keep them healthy. Bring that left knee across your body, your right knee, sorry. Find that position on you where you feel like you're getting a good little stretch here, not like any pinchy in the front. So for some people, it's the knee is lower, some people it's higher. If you want to get into that lower back a little bit, you're going to rotate more off the mat versus being here.
right? Up to you. So glutes, lower back. Open that right arm out at an angle. Give that upper back, that thoracic spine, that rib cage, that chest, shoulder, a nice little stretch here. Head goes wherever it feels comfortable, right? Release any tension in the neck. Inhale through the nose, exhale it out through the mouth. Slow breaths. Really resetting our nervous system, relaxation, slowing down the breath. And take one more breath here. And then exhale it out. Come back to center. Figure 4 stretch, nice little glute hip opener here. You can leave it like this. You can also get into your pigeon pose. You can also just bring the knee to the chest if this is not comfortable. Or figure 4, one of my faves. Nice little piriformis stretch is what some people call it. Nice little hip opener here. Roll the shoulders, release any tension. Notice if you have any tension in the neck and the jaw, anywhere else, let it go. Rolling those toes around, those ankles. Get everything moving, happy. We want that strength and we want that mobility as well. Last breath here. Unwrap that right leg, shake it out. I also have an entire mobility stretching playlist if you need more ideas, lower back ideas, hips, shoulders, foam rolling, all that stuff. Roll the hips around. Nice little hip opener, relax, stretch. Other stretches that feel good that you want to do now is your chance. Bring this knee across your body. Same thing, other side. Find that angle on you. Again, your body's different than mine. This is probably going to look different on you versus me, and that's okay, right? A lot of times I have clients or patients, they come to some other class. They're trying to do what everyone else is doing in class. Listen, you do what's best for you, right? These big classes are not the same for everybody, so everyone's got to kind of modify based on what's right for them, whether it's the intensity, whether it's the position, whether it's the movement, whatever. Totally fine. Lean into this stretch. Really focus on, as you exhale, can you get a little bit deeper? Stretch a little bit more. Slowing down the breath. Really focusing on that nice belly breathing, right? We're not breathing from just our chest. We're really trying to get a nice deep breath. Filling the belly. And then exhale it out. Come back to center when you're ready. Let's finish with our figure 4 stretch on this side. We've really only got one more move left, and then that's it for today. Opening up this left hip, your figure 4, or your thread the needle if you want deeper, or a pigeon pose. We are almost done with class for today. Roll the shoulders, shake the head, let it go. Let all of that tension go. Just let it slide right off your back. Let it go. Slowing down the breath. Inhale through the nose one more time. And then slowly exhale it out. As slow as you can. Exhale, letting it out. When you're ready, unwrap that left leg. Place both feet onto the floor, windshield wiper the knees side to side. Nice little mellow lower back stretch. Roll onto your side. We're finishing in seated. Just our last seated breath. You can sit however you want. You don't need to sit cross-legged. It's up to you. I want to just finish with this nice tall spine that we started with. Just thinking about posture, mindfulness through the rest of our day. Inhaling up. Inhale, reach to the sky. Tall seated posture. Exhale it out. One more time, and then that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for coming. Inhale, reach. Exhale it out. Thank you guys. I will see you next time. Subscribe to the channel. I will be in Los Angeles next week. Join me. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys next time.